Hello everyone, welcome to Absolute Geography. Here we take your geography understanding from classroom to continents. Today we are starting a new series on topographical maps. This is the first video of the series, and in this video we will be focusing on scales because it is the most important concept for understanding maps and also for your boards. First of all, let us understand what a map is. A map is a representation of Earth's surface or a part of it on a flat surface, or we can say two-dimensional surface. Now, based on the details that are shown on a map, they are of three types. First, physical maps. These are the maps that show only natural features such as mountains, plains, rivers and plateaus, etc. Second, we have political maps. These maps show national and international boundaries, states, cities, and capitals. Then, third, we have thematic maps. These are the maps which focus on a single theme, such as climatic maps, agricultural map, or land use pattern, population, etc. Maps are also classified based on scales. Before we do that, we clearly need to understand what is a scale. A scale is a relationship between the distance on the map and the actual distance on the ground. In simple language, a scale tells us how real distance on the ground is reduced and represented on a paper. Scales can be represented in three different ways. First one is the statement scale. Here the relationship is written in words. For example, if we are representing 1 kilometer on ground as 1 centimeter on the map, the scale is written simply as 1 centimeter is equals to 1 kilometer. However, if a person is not familiar with the units used, like centimeter, the metric system, then this scale sometimes can be difficult to interpret. Second is linear or graphical scale. Here, the scale is represented graphically using a line or a bar. The advantage of this scale is that even if the map is enlarged or reduced, the scale remains correct as it enlarges or reduces proportionally with the map. Then lastly, we have representative fraction. Both the previous scales depend on units. Therefore, the problem with both was that if a person is not familiar with the units used in the map, then the interpretation becomes difficult. To overcome this problem, representative fraction was developed. It is a ratio and therefore does not use any unit. It represents the relationship between distance on the map and the distance on the ground in same units. For example, when we write 1:50,000, this means 1 unit on the map is equal to 50,000 units on the ground. Now those units can be 1 centimeter is equals to 50,000 centimeters or 1 inch is equals to 50,000 inches. Both the interpretations are correct because RF is a unit-free ratio. Now these scales can also be converted from one to another, and understanding the conversion is very important for board exams also. There are two important conversions. First one, statement scale to representative fraction. In short, we write RF, but the full form is very important for your 1-mark questions. Back to conversion. Suppose the statement scale is 1 centimeter is equals to 5 kilometer. To convert this into RF, we use the simple formula representative fraction, that is RF, is equals to distance on map divided by distance on the ground. So RF is equals to 1 centimeter divided by 5 kilometer. But the numerator and denominator units must be same for division. So now we need to change 1 kilometer into centimeters. We know 1 kilometer is equals to 1 lakh centimeter. So 5 kilometer will be equal to 5 lakh centimeters. Now we have the same units. So 1 centimeter divided by 5 lakh centimeter. Since there is no unit in RF, the final answer will be RF is equals to 1:50 lakh. Likewise, we can convert RF scale into statement scale. Suppose we have RF of 1:50,000. This means 1 centimeter on map represents 50,000 centimeters on ground. We can convert centimeter to kilometer. We know 1 kilometer is equals to 1 lakh centimeter. So 50,000 centimeters will be equal to half kilometer, that is 0.5 kilometers. Therefore, the statement scale of RF 1:50,000 is 1 centimeter is equals to 0.5 kilometers. And this is the standard scale for topographical maps that we have to study. Now we can discuss the types of maps based on scale. First one is small scale maps. They show large geographical area with less detail. Remember this, small scale maps show large geographical area but with less details. Examples will include the atlas maps, wall maps, or the general world map or the map of India that we use in our classes. When we are representing larger areas, minor details cannot be shown on the map. Second one is the large scale maps. They show small area but in great detail. Remember this, large scale maps show small area but in very great detail. Even a post office, a station, railway line, everything is mentioned on the map. Examples will include the topographical maps that we have to study, city maps, cadastral maps, etc. So the topographical maps that we have to study in our syllabus is made by Survey of India to the scale of 1:50,000. That is, it is a large scale map showing all the things present in an area. There are 2 sheets to be studied. First one is showing the area of Banaskantha of Gujarat, and sheet number is G43S7, and the second one is of Sirohi in Rajasthan with the sheet number being G43S10. In the next video, we will discuss about the features present on the topographical sheet and how to identify the contours.